Well, whew. What a journey, what a journey. The old spinner rack spin as a sign of welcoming you once again to that secret downtown St. John's location, hidden somewhere in the bowels of that historic downtown St. John's. Comes in the Library of Graphic Literature with your host, me, Wallace Ryan, who has a cup of tea with him. Wonderful, wonderful. Now our new comics and new books didn't get in today, but I did have some books from last week left over, and not only that, but the Eisner Award nominations are out, so I figured I'd do a little quick peek at some books and then go through some of the Eisner nominations. Now, I'm not going to go through them all because it's quite a long list. If I was to read them out, I'd be here forever. But I'm just going to sort of pick and choose. And, well, for one thing, I'm going to use all the ones that talk about books and publication design, that type of thing for sure. You know, along with best writer, artist, that type of thing. So, let's get down to it. First of all, from Marvel and Donny Cates comes Doctor Strange. I've just started to read this, and I tell you, that Donny Cates, he can write a good Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is one of those books that takes a particular writer and a particular artist to do a good job of it. And I gotta say, especially for the first part of it, Cates and Gabriel Walt do an amazing job. So this, highly recommended. And you folks know, I'm a Doctor Strange fan, and I've been one since like the late 60s. So there. So I know what I'm talking about. And I still love the Ditko. I think I've read just about every Doctor Strange comic right up until about the late 70s anyway. And I've read quite a few after that, so I know of what I speak. So anyway, have a look at this here. I mean, the art. I love Walter's art. Absolutely beautiful. Great effects, great storytelling, and great drawing. Oh, and there's where I am in the book. I'm obviously still at the start of it, but hey, the rest of it looks pretty cool too. Ta-da. Anyway, worth reading. Ooh, oh. He shoots, he scores, yay! Way to go, Brad Marshall. Okay, from Mr. Peter Bagge comes another one of his super cool biographical comics. This one's called Credo, the Rose Wilder Lane story. So I've just started reading this, and it's pretty cool. He has a great feel for biographies. Great dialogue, very funny, very well done. So definitely worth picking up. I've read some of his other ones in his series, and he has a wild, wacky style. I've been in love with Peter Bagge ever since the Hate days. That's his comic Hate, which is, of course, isn't about hate per se, but yeah, lots of background stuff there too. So definitely super worth reading. Now, next, as we zip through these at an awful speed. Stopping only for tea and a spin of a spinner rack. I know that all you older folks out there love the sound of that because it brings you back, doesn't it? Here we have, of course, another pre-code classic from PS Artbooks. This is volume 2 of Tales of Horror. Woo! This is from basically March 53 into 1954, which seems like centuries ago to some people. It's before me, anyway. This has people like Bernard Bailey, Frank Krakoa, Rocco Mastroserio, Jack Sperling, and you know, a good sort of mixture of others. Once again, these are so cool because of the the ads. Like I say, it's oh, and I love this cover, by the way. Good old Empire State Building. Possibly one of my favorite buildings in the world. Ooh, 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 oh, check this out here. Ooh, no cost talking parakeet. How many of you have wanted a talking parakeet? Me, I would prefer one that didn't talk and just sat there and thought about what it had done that day and why it was bad. And stamps. I was one of those kids who fell for the stamp things in the back of comics, and it actually got me into collecting stamps as a kid. And I mean, some of them were pretty cool. I mean, they were all basically used stamps is what you get in those. And but I mean, it was fun because it was all kinds of different stamps from all over the world. And so, you know, I spent my youth, I misspent a bit of my youth on that. Then I came to my senses and returned to collecting only comics and books like this one, World's Finest, Volume 2 from the Silver Age. Love this cover too, by the way. I'm not sure who it is. Does it show? Anyway, absolutely cool. Now let's pop this open. I've seen rumors again, and rumors that I don't trust because they're from Bleeding Cool, about DC doing away with a bit more of their bronze, the Bronze Age omnibuses, and I hope it isn't true. And a note to Dan DiDio out there, keep them. I'll buy them, and I know there are a lot of other people out there who will buy them. Anyway, this one, I'm pretty sure that is a cover there is by Cover Art. It doesn't say Nick. Oh, Nick Darrington. Oh, not bad. Okay, well, this is art mainly by Kurt Swan, Dick Sprang, and Jim Mooney. All three of them are actually personal favorites of mine. I like Dick Sprang for his old-fashioned feel, and of course love Kurt Swan for his sensible artwork, as I like to call it. Very cool artwork. Oh, this looks like Sprang there. And then we get into, oh, there's some Jim Mooney. I can recognize Jim Mooney a mile away. And same, of course, too with Kurt Swan. I always love Kurt Swan's work. Just something very solid about it. And I mean, geez, he held it right up into the 80s. He was the man. Great artwork. Great anatomy. And worth reading. I always kind of liked World's Finest myself. I collected it during the 70s. And oh no, that's just a leftover book. That was that Red Sonja book from the other week. And now let's get down to what we've all been waiting for: the Eisner Award nominations. Now there's a few of these I do actually have in my collection. So let us get started. And maybe I'll even tell you who I'll be voting for, because of course I get to vote because I do lettering. And hopefully next year my name will be in the nominations for Best Letterer. Because I'm one of those new letterers who prefer the old-fashioned touch of the hand. And I preach lettering by hand to all my students rather than going with fonts and the like. I mean, fonts are cool, and I even use them sometimes in some applications, but for my own personal comics, there's nothing like doing it by hand. Okay, let's stop with the foolishness and get right down to it here. Best short story, Get Naked in Barcelona, Steve Siegel. Get Naked Image. The Ghastly Gun Tinies from Mad Magazine, Here I Am. Life During Interesting Times, Supply Chains, which is in that coin up, and The Talk of Saints by Tom King and Jason Fabak in the Swamp Thing Winter Special. So I'd say The Talk of Saints. My money's on that. Best Single Issue or One Shot, Beneath the Dead Oak Tree by Emily Carroll, short box. Black Hammer by Jeff Lemire, Emil Lennox, No Better Words. Peter Parker, The Spectacular Spider-Man by Chip Zdarsky, and The Terrible Elizabeth Dumb Against Devils in Suits. My guess with this one is I'm going to say, Black Hammer. I'll give that a shot. That's taking a guess now, okay? Best Continuing Series. Here we go, people. Batman by Tom King and Friends. Black Hammer, Age of Doom. Gasolina. Giant Days, which is actually very underrated. The Immortal Hulk. Oh, that's probably one of mine. And Runaways. This one is kind of hard. I'm sort of stuck between The Immortal Hulk and Black Hammer. Although Batman could sneak in there too. Let's see. Best Limited Series. Batman White Knight by Sean Murphy. Not bad. Eternity Girl for Vertigo. And from my friend Mike Feehan, Exit Stage Left, The Snagglepuss Chronicles by Mark Russell, Mike Feehan, and Mark Morales. Mike Feehan, like I say, is a local lad. Way to go, Mike. Bring it on home. That is actually who I'll be voting for, alright? Just to let you know, Mike, so you owe me a nomination. Mr. Miracle by Tom King and Mitch Gerards, and X-Men Grand Design Second Genesis. So Mike and the boys have some tough competition, but I'm hoping for them. If they don't win it, I think Mr. Miracle is probably my best bet, really. Best New Series, Bitterroot by Dave Walker, Chuck Brown, and Sanford Green. Image, Crowded. As a matter of fact, these are Image actually. This is one of the first times in a while I can remember one company snagging all of one category completely. Well, it's the best news series anyway. So Bitterroot, Crowded, Gideon Falls, Azola, Maneaters, and Skyward. So way to go, Image. And Image and DC, by the way, led the nominations. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Best Graphic Album. And you know I love this. Bad Girls, Come Again, Green Lantern, Earth 1, Volume 1, Homunculus, and My Heroes Have Always Been Junkies, and Sabrina. My guess there is Sabrina or My Heroes Have Always Been Junkies. I don't know which one I'm going to vote for. I'm going to take a guess on that one. Under Best Graphic Album Reprint comes my friend Jason Lutz with his classic book, Berlin, which I'll probably be voting for. Girl Town, Upgrade Soul, The Vision hardcover by Tom King and Walter and Mike Walsh. Mike Walsh actually graced us with his presence here several years ago. Great guy. He talked to our Comic Jam kids and all that, and he did a signing. Very, very nice guy. So actually, I'm thinking about The Vision or Berlin. I'm sort of caught there. I'll have to vote for Berlin though, I think. And then Young Francis by Hartley Lynn, which is also another good book. It's going to be hard to say who gets that. Here we go. Best Archival Collection Project Strips. Okay. Pogo. As a matter of fact, I think I have all these except for one. So, Pogo Volume 5 from Fantagraphics. Sky Masters of the Space Force. The complete Sunday strips and colors from Amigo Comics and Farron. Happy birthday, by the way, and I'll be voting for you in that category. Star Wars Classic Newspaper Strips by Goodwin and Williamson from the Library of American Comics, whom I love. The Temple of Silence, Forgotten Words, and Worlds of Herbert Crowley. And last but not least, Thimble Theater and the pre-Popeye comics of E.C. Segar. From Sunday Press. And Sunday Press, you do such beautiful books, you know. Best Archival Collection Project, comic books. Gotta have some tea before I get into this. Love that tea. Okay, here we go. Action Comics, 80 Years of Superman Deluxe Edition. surprised with that one, actually. Bill Sienkiewicz's Mutants and Moon Knights and Assassins Artifact Edition. Dirty Plot, the complete Julie Doucette. Madman Quarter Century Shindig. I think I got that one there. Yeah, I do have that one there. Terry Moore's Strangers in Paradise Gallery Edition. And Will Eisner's A Contract with God Curators Collection, which I have over in that part of the library here. All very good. I'll go with the Contract with God though, because it's beautiful. Either that or the Madman. Best writer, Alex de Campi, Bad Girls, Tom King for Batman, etc. Jeff Lemire. I think. How do you choose these? Of course, Mark Russell for Exit Stage Left, the Snagglepuss Chronicles. Kelly Thompson and Chip Zdarsky. So some good choices there. Hard to say who I'm going to go for there. Actually, could be any of them. Maybe Jeff Lemire. I love Black Hammer. I love it. Jeff, I love it. I love it. Best writer / artist. Sophie Campbell, Wet Moon. Nick Donasso, Sabrina. Dave Lapham, one of my personal favorites for Lodger. Nate Powell. Tony Sandoval for Water Snakes. I did not know he was doing that, actually. Jen Wang, The Prince and the Dressmaker. So that's some pretty good stuff. Now the last page. This is just a blank page there. And the last page here. Best Painter, Multimedia Artist, Interior Art. Lee Bermejo, Batman Damned. Carita Lupitelli. Oh, by the way, apologies if I mangle your name here too. Dustin Nagoyan, Descender. Gregory Panicino, Sea of Love. Oh, and Tony Sandoval again for Water Snakes. I love Tony Sandoval's Doom Boy, by the way. If you get a chance, run out and grab that. Best Coloring, Jordi Belair, Tamara Bonvillian, Nathan Fairburn, Matt Hollingsworth, and Matt Wilson. All of which are very good. I'm going to go with Hollingsworth, though. No, Wilson, because I like Paper Girls and Black Cloud. Best lettering, and hopefully I'll see my name in here, because I'm a darn good letterer. David Aja for Seeds, Jim Campbell, Lex DeCampi, Jared Fletcher, and Todd Klein. The man who actually I learned how to letter from, because he'd done a little lettering lesson in the back of Comic Scene, I do believe it was years and years ago. And it was through that I was introduced to the Ames lettering guide, and a whole new world of nice lettering. Thanks, Todd. Best comic related periodical and journalism, back issue. Hey, you guys are good. The Columbus Scribbler, Comicosity, Lab Magazine, Panel Times Panels Magazine. I'll go with back issue. This is my favorite. And last but not least, here comes Best Publication Design. A Sea of Love from Magnetic and Line Force, the Stan Lee Story Collector's Edition, The Temple of Silence, Terry Moore's Stranger in Paradise Gallery Edition, and last but not least, Will Eisner's Contract with God Curators Collection, which is probably going to be the one that I'm going to be voting for, because I love it. It's spectacular. Anyway, the full list, actually, if you go to the Library of Graphic Literature site, the full list is there. Like I said, I just picked out basically the highlights of it. So check it out, and good luck to all the nominees, and especially Mike. I hope you guys nail it there. And that's it for this week, actually. Like I say, but I wasn't sure whether or not I was going to wait until Monday till we do actually get our new comics, so there will probably be a second show within a few days. And but I had to do the Eisner nominations. There are Academy Awards, and we should promote the heck out of them. That being said, as you can tell, the lighting is different here, so it's about almost 2:40 here, Newfoundland Standard Time. It's a beautiful day out. Still kind of cold out there, but it's a beautiful day out. The sun is shining, the birds are tweeting, the leaves in the trees aren't there yet, And the very last bits of snow from what I can see out my windows are just barely hanging on there. And with me, well, I'm going to finish my cup of tea, and I'm going to do a little bit of lettering myself. And on that note, let us summon forth that boom tube that takes me away from it all. I love every single one of you out there, and take care, have a great week, and I love y'all. See you next week. Keep on reading. Oh, better jump into that. Whoa!